Well, money is a good thing, and they tend to give you money when you work.
Disability comes in many forms, and today we're going to learn about multiple people's experiences on employment.
What's important about people with disabilities finding employment is
employers can create a welcoming environment for their disabled employees.
In those experiences I once had in corporate America, it led me to the journey of entrepreneurship. I can work for myself and provide myself with the accommodations to have a better working environment.
If I go back to doing the work that I did prior to the stroke, I will be returning to consulting, to marketing, and communications.
what we bring is just creativity and ingenuity. We bring that lived experience into the workforce.
People with disabilities are out there, they're here, they want to be seen and they want to be included.
You can have a good employee for a long time if you hire somebody with a disability.
Being able to work is the first best option for people with disabilities, but it has to be truly accessible.
When you're disabled, it's way harder to get a job. Statistics point to it that more disabled people are unemployed or underemployed or in poverty, unfortunately.
There's no incentive for a lot of people to get off disability benefits because if you have a disability and you don't receive benefits and you go out into the real world and you have a job that pays, very few jobs are going to offer you a benefit package that will cover your medical needs. It's living in forced poverty. That's what it is. It's living in forced poverty. Taking our checks and keeping us indoors keeps us out of the sight of people who would otherwise probably seek institutionalization for individuals with disabilities still today, for simply existing in spaces where people think it's too difficult to see me based on disability.
Really, I wish that I could have an interpreter at every meeting because they usually meet every day for like 30 minutes to talk about the rules. As a deaf person, all during my upbringing, that's what I saw. Deaf people tend to use ASL all the time, not English. So when you sit down with your boss and they're writing in English, sometimes things are not understood. That's why it's so important to have an interpreter, because the deaf person would have full access to ASL, which is what they have been using their whole lives.
The one good thing that came out of COVID was the fact that we were able to work from home. Because a lot of times the biggest obstacle they have is driving or transportation. A lot of people live in rural areas where there is no public transportation. Taxis and Ubers would be cost prohibitive in the long run. Being able to work from home would allow them the security to earn an income but not have to worry about the transportation issue.
There are several barriers to getting the job, getting the interview, and it's very stressful because you don't know if you're not being hired because of who you are or because of your disability. We shouldn't have to go through a program to get a job. We should be hired just like a quote-unquote normal person is hired through an interview process. It shouldn't be we're gonna give this organization a chance and give them a job because they need employment. There are people with real degrees, real knowledge, real life experience that can also do these jobs.
You have people that are with disability probably sitting at the house that don't even think that they could work. But when they see other people with disabilities and then they see them working, then they get to think like, hey, hey, I could do that.
Our vocation or profession is intimately tied to our identity. So when I lost it, I lost almost all my self-esteem and my friendships at the same time. People with disabilities who acquire a disability in their lives, they all have to deal with that grief, and they all have to recreate a sense of self. Employment would help shore up that self-esteem and create a new sense of purpose and freedom and autonomy that our society really values, people in America really value, I really value.
The key words are rehabilitation services. Every state has one. The idea of helping a person get a job, the work placement, training, equipment, basically career exploration. There's also the job accommodations network.
If you desire to work as a person with a disability, I say go for it. You never know until you try. You have to get out there and attempt to get the work and do the work to know what you're capable of doing and what your niche is.